I'm Chris Powell, and this is Transform Nation. It's not a show that you watch, it's an experience that you join. Keep it going, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the new Jackie. It has been years since I've seen Jackie. My friend.
Hello.
This is Jackie, life beyond extreme. So yesterday I surprised Eddie, and it was just absolutely incredible. But what's really special about West Palm Beach, Florida is that one of my favorite people in the entire world, she lives here in West Palm Beach as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the new Jackie. So Jackie was from season 2 of Extreme Weight Loss, and hands down one of the sweetest souls I've ever encountered in my entire life. She absolutely smashed her entire year. She did so well. I mean, it was actually mostly hugs and high fives, which is very rare in the journey of transformation, but she struggled for a little while after the show. She struggled. She went through her own ups and downs, but she ended up really kind of finding herself in the process. And she's also had quite the journey of, say, a family transformation, if you will. She'd always dreamed about being a mom. That just simply wasn't a possibility. She had PCOS, she couldn't conceive, and since then, quite a lot has changed in Jackie's life. So this is gonna be a blast. Okay, here, let's go. All right. Okay, we're here. It has been years since I've seen Jackie. Okay, here we go.
Hello.
My friend. Oh, so good to see you. Oh my gosh, it has been years.
Yeah, I think 2013.
For reals?
That's the last time I saw you
Yeah.
in real life.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
we talk.
So crazy.
Yeah.
So much to catch up on. You look freaking amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes. And I cannot wait to see these surprises that you have.
They are here and they really want to meet you.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay. So in Jackie's journey with me, she was very open about her struggles with wanting to become a mom and simply not having the ability to conceive.
I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome. Knowing that because of my weight, we're not able to have a child, it devastates me.
Oh my gosh, you must be Everly. So nice to meet you. Okay, I'm picking up unicorn vibes. Fiona, am I right? Nice. What's up, kiddo? How are you? So nice. And this other one, I'm thinking princess vibes. I can't think of a more princessy name than Gwendolyn. Am I right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, nice to meet you, Gwendolyn.
Nice to meet you too.
Holy smokes, you've been busy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Well, the three of you were just a glimmer in your mom's eye when I first met her. The beautiful part about Jackie's journey is that after she lost the weight, after she became healthier physically, her body actually was able to conceive. And not only once, but 3 amazing times. Well, it's wonderful to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Can I hang out with your mom for a little bit? We got a lot of catching up to do. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. While there never is a happily ever after, it's probably one of the most beautiful endings of any story that we never got to fully tell. Your children will never know 355-pound Jackie.
I don't think they should have to know her. I don't think that that's the person that was meant to be in their lives.
Clearly, a lot has happened since I saw you last. Your daughters are adorable. The last time I saw you wasn't even really a possibility, or so you thought.
I mean, I wanted to work with you because I wanted to have children, and they had said the only possible way you can have kids is to lose weight. But then after I lost weight, they said, oh, actually there's this new roadblock that isn't gonna let you get pregnant. But that wasn't true because—
Was that the PCOS?
Well, no, the PCOS was completely resolved when I ended the show. But then when they did further testing, they told me that my tubes were completely blocked and that I would never have a baby naturally. And they said never. And then a year after that, I had a baby and then I kept having babies. And I was like, I thought it was impossible. And they're like, well, medicine's just a practice. We don't always know. So I always think about that.
That's
So
incredible.
It was amazing.
What
Yeah.
a beautiful story. Can you believe it's been 15 years since we went through our experience together?
In some ways, it feels like not that long ago. And in some ways, it feels like so long ago because so much has happened.
Yeah, you think? I can think of 3 things that have happened since.
Yeah.
Thinking back, what were some of your favorite moments on the show? I know what some of mine were. Do you remember when I pulled you into the room?
The public singing hasn't gone that well. I still have been a little bit
We
scared.
had a deal. You already know
That
where
was
I'm going
my
with this.
least favorite moment in the show.
Wait, no, this is not
yes.
happening.
Yes.
This is
Jackie,
not
yes, you
funny.
are. No.
I'm
All right, guys. This is my good friend Jackie. She usually doesn't like performing in public. So I have a challenge for her to sing in front of you. Like that was completely spontaneous, on a whim. And that whole thing was going down and it was just too perfect and I had to pull you in there.
I was terrified. Voi che sapete che cosa è amor. It was my biggest fear, but you know what? My biggest fear was to be seen in general. That's it. So I think it was good, but I hated that moment. Yeah. I have so many moments that I cherish. I mean, I loved even our first workout.
Speed it up, and I'm looking at those RPMs. Beautiful. 10 more seconds.
My legs are killing.
That's okay.
I had always counted myself out,
Don't stop this fight. You are stronger than that. Push beyond it. Sit down and stand up.
and it was a hard thing, but it was like the start of I could be athletic,
What do you know? Good. Do it again for me.
and I liked it.
I believe in you. You have to believe in yourself.
Of course, we always have Ireland and riding through the Gap of Dunlow.
That's one of the coolest things I've ever done.
It's tough, I know. Keep pushing, Jackie. You got this.
It's just all those things were out of my comfort zone. If you had said, do you want to do this? I would have said, I do not. But little did I know I did want to, and I felt so good after. I was like, what a cool thing, and it was gorgeous.
And we didn't die on the road.
Going through town seems dangerous.
No, but almost.
Thank goodness I know.
Almost.
All right, Jackie, we're 2 kilometers down.
Like I was trying to pretend like I had it all under control. I literally thought we were going to get hit by a car, though. Those are the most terrifying roads I've ever been on in my life.
Unsafe, yeah.
Yeah. So out of curiosity, what was it like watching your episode?
I found it very difficult to rewatch the beginning of the episode because I saw a person that was talking about herself in such a negative way.
I feel sick. When you don't look, you can pretend like you're not so ugly. I just don't know if I can let people see me like this. And like even thinking about like the cameraman and boobs, like I could probably like go home and throw up.
And then I just had so much compassion and I was like, oh, you didn't see that you were struggling, but you were wonderful and valuable. And I mostly thought about how one day I would show the girls and that they would see that my passion was to be their mom.
I did have a doctor tell me that without gastric bypass surgery, that it was basically going to be impossible for me, that I was too far gone.
No, I don't believe that.
Have they seen the episode yet?
They have not.
Okay.
No. And I didn't show them. I wanted to make sure that I waited long enough that they could understand the more complex details.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. And I'm sensitive to that 1,000%. And you're right, especially with young girls. How has your journey been?
I think that the most healing thing that could happen for me is to have the children, because it became much less about what I weighed and more about who I could show up as in the world, which ended up being a really nice balance. Like sometimes my weight went up and sometimes it went down. I have been able to keep 150 pounds of all the pounds that I lost off the whole time. But I think ultimately it really helped me mentally to have it about something so much bigger than, you know, what I weighed.
Yeah. And here's the thing also, like, it's been 15 years since we've been through our journey. And there is so much that I wish I could have done differently. As much as I thought I was doing the right thing at the time, there were still, there was the external pressures to lose weight fast. And I think it did not set you up for long-term success. And for that, I just want to let you know, I am sorry.
Oh, well, you knew what you knew at the time, and I knew what I knew, and we were sharing with each other. And so people ask me about it, and every single time I talk about like the dark side of the show, I'm like, but Chris was not, I did some things on the show that you didn't tell me to do, that I just did on my own. I was scared that I wasn't gonna hit the goals, so I did my own thing. I was like, well, fast is what they want, and I'm gonna do anything that I can to make it happen. So it was not how people think it was, because they're like, you worked really hard and then you were like in the healthiest place that you ever were. One of the hardest parts about the show is the healthiest place that I ever was actually, I was probably like 25 pounds up post-show, but I was allowing myself to eat and to try to explore different foods, because for a long time I was afraid of salt, I was afraid of sugar, I was afraid of anything that tasted good. My body felt like a prison at my highest weight. And then when I changed them to these behaviors of deprivation and rigidity, it was just a new prison. So it looked different, but everybody praised the new prison. And then when I let go and was like, what if I eat the cake, but I don't eat all the cake, and I'm not gonna do the stair mill for 60 minutes, but I'm gonna go ride my bike on the beach, and it's gonna fill me up body, mind, and spirit. It's not just like calorie burn. I think that was the happiest that I had ever been, but people would assume that I was doing better when I was like end of the show weight.
Is that when you got pregnant? Is when you were in the happy place?
Yeah, I probably about 6 months into the happy place, I got pregnant. And I think that my body probably felt safe enough to have a baby.
I agree,
Yeah.
and that's why I asked.
That's what I love about what you're doing now, is that people get really stuck on, I have to get to goal. And the consistency of good behaviors, it almost doesn't matter. It does matter what the scale does, but it almost doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, it's a byproduct.
And I wish I had understood that.
Your trials especially through the show and after, that's what qualifies you to help other people. It does, it really does. And that's why I just think it'd be just so cool for you to be a part of this with Transformation. What's really fun and engaging about Transformation is that yes, we're going around and we're surprising people who are on the journey right now, but I get to go back and I get to revisit people who I've walked this journey with in the past. If you have any interest, I would just love for you to know that the door is always open if you would like to be a part of this mission in any capacity. But in addition to dropping in on that, I have an opportunity to see if they want to join me on this journey, on this mission to improving 1 million lives. Because I can't do it alone. And who better than the people who have actually walked the journey with me before? There's a lot of lives to change out there. And so, again, I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't know what it looks like, but as soon as you said it, I was like, I don't know what it means, but yes.
So Jackie is going to be a part of Transformation. And now this is her opportunity to take everything that she learned and she discovered about herself. And we can lock arms together and we can help more people moving forward. Yeah, okay, funny face. You guys ready? As people come into Transformation, you might have the opportunity to work with somebody that you watched transform years ago. Awesome. You guys are amazing. And now those individuals who once inspired you years ago, they can also help guide you on your journey of change.